We are the ones in charge, and it's gotten better, but it hasn't gotten good enough. Right now, understandably, totally legitimate, this is a referendum on Obama and Biden, the nature and the state of the economy.
I think that's the end of the interview. So I just want to say I completely agree, Mr. Vice President. 2012 will, in fact, be a referendum on the Obama-Biden economy, that the Obama-Biden-Pallone economy, because Frank Pallone is here. But I digress. My question tonight is this jobs bill going to go anyplace or not? By the way, is there a GOP alternative? Could be Chris Christie. Joining me now is the aforementioned House member, Frank Pallone. He's a Democrat from New Jersey and a friend of the show. And Nan Hayworth, Republican from New York, another friend of the show. Frank, you own the economy. Mr. Obama, Mr. Biden, Mr. Pallone, and all your colleagues in the House and Senate. The economy is in terrible shape, and the numbers on polling are in terrible shape. What are you going to do about it?
Well, we have to create jobs, and the President's American Jobs Act basically does that. It basically spends a lot of time creating jobs in infrastructure, school construction, also preserves a lot of jobs by giving money back to the states so they can rehire teachers and firemen and policemen, and also cuts payroll taxes so that there's more money in people's pockets and they can spend more and increase demand.
Why is there no single House sponsor of this bill? By the way, in the Senate, where it's dead on arrival, Mr. Harry Reid's the only sponsor. But in the House, there is no sponsor. There's no legislation. There are no hearings. There are no expert witnesses.
Well, Larry,
nothing. Steny Hoyer actually came out against the bill.
My understanding is that it has been sponsored by John Larson, and there are many co-sponsors. I know that last week when we were in session, that was the case. He was sponsoring it and looking for co-sponsors.
We searched. We couldn't find a legislative item. But Nan Hayworth, I'll ask you. The disposition of this bill, which is already very unpopular, in fact, you got, 150 big business groups, 155 business groups today, basically came out against the bill and said what we need from the super committee, forget this sideshow, is major entitlement reform and major tax reform to grow the economy, which strikes me as a better agenda than more stimulus spending and temporary tax cuts. What are the GOP going to do?
Larry, we have long-term and short-term opportunities, and what our business groups are talking about are really long-term opportunities in particular. Talk about the short term. What I'd like to see, and I don't think I'm alone in this, I would like to see the president come out against any further extension of the loan program that produced Solyndra. We've got another $1.1 billion pouring into that. Let's have the president take a stand on that now, saying, you know what, I'm going to issue an executive order. We're going to bring this to a halt until we know more about it at the very least.
Would you be in favor of that, Mr. Pallone?
I think that this is not the agenda. We have to worry about creating jobs, and if we don't start stimulating the economy and actually spending some money, at least short term, on our infrastructure and creating jobs, spending money or sending money back to the states so that they don't lay off a lot more people, the economy is just going to get worse. I mean, we have to create demand.
Wasn't Solyndra a job destroyer? Didn't they lose jobs?
They lost jobs, and they're about to spend $727 billion on Tonopah Power Company, Nancy Pelosi's brother-in-law, for 45 jobs. I mean, come on, Frank, that's insane.
This is the problem, is that the Republicans keep talking about, these issues, and that's not the issue here. We have to get together and talk about how we're going to create jobs. Let's not have these sideshows. Let's talk about what we're going to do to get the economy going, reducing unemployment. We got to get together, and I just hear from Nan and other Republicans, they keep bringing up all these, issues that don't have anything to do with that.
Why not flat tax reform? Why not entitlement reform? Everyone's dodging entitlement reform. Why not regulatory reform? In other words, take the Obama jobs bill and say, okay, start from scratch, and let's have something maybe both sides can agree on. Why not put those in? That's what 155 business groups are asking for that.
Absolutely.
That's not nothing.
Larry, that's not nothing. That's a big something. But let's talk about two short-term maneuvers that the president could make right now, and that the Congress could make. We need certainty. Our job creators are not going to hire if they're facing a tax cliff come January 2013, and they all know that. That's one of the primary flaws in the so-called jobs bill.
Taxes, then they go up sharply in 2013.
Let's put the Affordable Care Act on hold, and let's say we're going to extend the 01 and 03 tax cuts permanently. Let's put acts through Congress now to do both
Larry,
those things.
Larry, what you can't do is just, look at taxes across the board. You have to have targeted taxes so that, if a company's going to hire someone, then you give them a tax credit.
But we tried that, Frank, and it didn't work.
I don't agree with you.
Short-term tax credits don't work.
When we had the HIRE Act, which was passed in the last Congress, it actually created quite a few jobs. And I think the stimulus in the last Congress also created a lot of jobs.
Let me switch gears because it's too juicy. Nan Hayworth, should Chris Christie run? Should he run? He is apparently reconsidering his whole position after the Reagan Library speech. It's our political sizzle story. Should he run?
A presidential campaign is not made in one speech, which does not diminish my admiration for Chris Christie. Republicans are looking for a dose of charisma, a jolt of energy to his presidential run. I think Chris Christie has both those in spades.
So you want him to run?
Well, I think he'd add excitement to the race.
Would you support him if he ran?
I support all of our Republican candidates who are former or current executives.
You're dodging me
right now. Nope.
Frank Pallone, you know him from New Jersey. You've been a long-time congressman. What do you think of Chris Christie, honestly?
I think he should stay in New Jersey and try to turn the economy around in the state where he was elected. I mean, I don't know how he can run nationally when, you know, the economy is still not good in our state. He certainly doesn't set a good example of what he's done in New Jersey for what he would do nationally.
But he was tough against the unions. He got reforms on pensions and health care. He capped the property tax. Did you disagree with those policies? Because the state was going bankrupt. Now it's a little less bankrupt.
Yes,
but it's still. What did you want him to do? Raise taxes?
With his policy? No, I think that what he has to do is actually think about what he's going to do to create jobs. I mean, this is the same thing on a national level, on a state level. Our unemployment in New Jersey is very high. It's even a little higher than the national level. So, I mean, for him to say, well, somehow, you know, I'm going to do better nationally, why? You know, what's the example in New Jersey?
So you're saying, right, he's got a problem running on his record in New Jersey.
Exactly.
Do you agree with that, Nan? That's a very interesting take.
I think he would have great success running on his record in New Jersey, Frank, because he has brought New Jersey back from the brink in ways that we need to bring this country back from the brink. He has respected the taxpayers of New Jersey. He has worked hard on returning working capital to the marketplace in New Jersey. Job creators in New Jersey now have some assurance, Frank, that they are not going to be fought at every turn by their own state government. We need a federal government to do that.
New Jersey is not doing any better than the national government, and the fact of the matter is that our unemployment is even higher. So whatever he's done hasn't turned the economy around in our state.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Very interesting stuff. Thanks. House members Frank Pallone and Nan Hayworth. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks very much.